Good evening, family. Here we are for a love stream. A new moon solar eclipse is coming up our way in Libra. And welcome to October. And October is gonna be deep. And October is gonna be intense. Which is why we're starting with this deep, ambient, dark techno mix. Solar Radiance by Yonef. Join me, family. Show me your names on the screen. Let's talk about it all and see what we can make out of it, so we can kind of harvest the benefits and be aware of the trickster energy in it. But yeah, this month is not for the faint-hearted. This month is for the spiritual warriors to rise into their power and to hold, hodl strong. Hello Bharat, Rukshika, Trishan and Anna. Hello Breeze, I'm coming at you right now. Here I am. Hello family, it's good to be here with you again. A spontaneous love stream. I wanted to do this on the weekend, but I was very exhausted. Life. And I've been very deep in retreat, in contemplation, in reflection, as the dark moon phase kind of brings to us. That's where we are now. We are in a dark moon phase, and there's a lot for us to unpack, so let's get into it. Yes, I am well, Breeze, thank you. Just processing, a lot of processing. Shalom Dana. And there's a lot going on, as we all know, and as we can see in the world, and as we can see in our own personal life. We said all this time that this time of the year, the last quarter, is gonna be epic. We said that September till the end of the year is gonna be intense and build up, and it is proving to be that. And now that we are in October, things are only gonna become even more intense and more powerful and more epic. But it is what it is, and we just need to kind of like find our ground with it, find our balance with it. We are in Libra season, and which is all about finding balance and harmony and stability, and you know. So let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on at the moment on your chart. Let's start from 11 o'clock. Pluto retrograde on 29 degree of Capricorn in 40 minutes. In this month, actually 10 days from today, Pluto will station direct for the last time in our life in Capricorn. So this by itself is a big thing. Then on your 2 o'clock, you've got Venus, 10 degrees Scorpio. Venus is in deep Scorpio, wanting to feel deep, wanting to dig deep into a love life, into a sex life, into a money life, into her happiness, into the quality of her life. She wants to understand on a deeper level what's going on, what's happening, and what's needed. She's going through a deep transformation, deep purging, deep ending and beginning. So that's Venus in Scorpio. Dealing with traumas, dealing with pains, dealing with fears on a deep level. Scorpio territory. Sexual trauma, emotional trauma, financial trauma, abuse, all these kind of things, we can definitely see them in the world. Then next to it we've got Juno, then the Libra party. Pay attention to the Libra party, that's a massive party. Wow. We've got Juno on the 18 degrees of Libra. We've got Black Moon Lilith on the 10 degrees Libra. We've got Mercury on the 9 degrees Libra. We've got the Sun on the 8 degree Libra. We've got the South Node on the 6 degree Libra. They are all pretty much together. And here is the Moon on your 3 o'clock at the moment in 24 degree Virgo in a dark moon phase, coming into the new moon solar eclipse, which will happen on the 10th degree of Libra, where Black Moon Lilith is right now. So everything is marching towards this 10 degree. Whew. Now let's go down to 6 o'clock. We've got Mars in Cancer, 15 degrees of Cancer. Mars, once he enters the 17th degree of Cancer, which is going to happen in the next few days, Mars is entering its first shadow zone. The first shadow zone is the pre-retrograde. Mars is going to travel all the way to Leo, is going to stop on the early degrees of Leo, and he's going to retrograde all the way back to the 17th degree of Cancer, where he's going to station direct and move forward. So once Mars will enter the 17th degree of Cancer, we need to take notes of the things that are unfolding with our masculine archetype, our ego self, and it's in Cancer, so everything got to do with our emotional security, with home, with our family, with relationships, with the inner child. And this is the territory that Mars is digging in now. And Mars is digging in Cancer in all these subjects, while in Aries, his home, we've got the north node of the moon still on your 9 o'clock and Chiron there as well. So, but let's continue by the clockwise. We've got 6 o'clock here, we've got Jupiter on the 21st degree of Gemini. Jupiter is starting to slow down, and Jupiter is going to station direct on the 10th, so 9 days from today. So between the 10th and the 13th, there's quite kind of a lot of significant changes. We will have Jupiter station in retrograde, Pluto station in direct, and there's going to be more that I'm going to talk about. Uranus here on the 26th degree is back to this place, is retrograding, and who is on the 26th degree? If you remember love stream of a month ago, 2 months ago, this is where Algol, the demon star, is. So the same warnings are coming back to stay away from alcohol, to stay away from drugs, to stay away from toxicity. Because the temptations are there, and the people that will overdrink will misbehave, and the people that will take substances will misbehave because they're opening the auric field to this kind of lower, darker energies that could play with them. On your 8 o'clock, you've got here Eris on 25th degree of Aries, Chiron 21st degree of Aries, the south node of the moon 9 o'clock, 6th degree Aries, and then we've got Neptune on the 28th degree of Pisces and Saturn on the 14th degree of Pisces. So that's how it looks like right now. Hello, Janeline. Now, over the last few days, we had some interesting alignments, which are still kind of they're breaking out. But especially today, earlier this morning, Mercury was conjunct the Sun, and Mars was in trine to Saturn. So the trine to Saturn, as you can see between Mars and Saturn, it's still there, but it's breaking out. And the conjunction between Mercury and the Sun is still there, but it's breaking out. Mercury is moving faster. But this conjunction of Mercury and the Sun, as I'm going to show you on the 3D, I'm going to bring it up. This conjunction with the Sun is with Mercury behind the Sun, which means that it's kind of like the Sun is... I want to show you this. Let me show you this. All right, let's see. No, not that. Just a second. Let me fix it up for you. This is what I want. Yes. Okay, let's bring it up. Here we are. Oops, big mess. Okay, now let's bring it up. Can you see it? No. Wow. A big mess. Let's see. No, it's not that. There we go. This is it. Okay. You just saw a bit of the inside of the system. There we go. So this is the 3D right now. This is how we look like. You can see the moon, the sun, rise coming into the new moon solar eclipse. So that's how it's looking like. Where the moon is gonna travel here, and here is the new moon solar eclipse. Sun, moon, earth, and that's what I meant, that Mercury is behind the sun. Okay, so here you can see it from here. Mercury, sun, moon, earth conjunction. Okay, that's the conjunction, which means that the mental is processing in the background. There is a processing in the background. There's information coming in, there is reflection, there is insights that is coming in, and it's kind of coming through the subconscious, through the back of a kind of, it's not when Mercury is in front of the sun, is this. Let me take the music down a bit. When Mercury is in front of the sun facing us, the sun is shining the light through Mercury into us. Here Mercury is behind the sun, and so there is kind of like there is a process in the background in our mind, in our communication, in our understanding that we don't fully see the light of it, but it's happening. And that's another interesting thing, because this new moon solar eclipse is called an annular solar eclipse, which means that the moon is gonna cover, I'm gonna try, it's hard to find it like that, but the moon is gonna cover the sun and it's gonna create a ring of fire. Kind of, you're gonna be a ring of light with the moon in the middle shadow, and the exact path of the eclipse is above Argentina and Chile. So only if you are in the tip bottom of Argentina, you'll be able to see the eclipse. And that's a good point, because every time when we deal with the path of the eclipse itself, it's always giving us the indication of where things will be impacted. The last eclipses, few eclipses happened above America and Mexico, and we all see what unfolded since then. And so you can see, here is the Mercury conjunction, and you can see here is Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and here is Uranus. So this is all going to unfold because we're going to have, at the moment we have Venus trine Saturn. So from the Earth, you can see there is this trine shape, triangle, 1, 2, 3. So there's one trine happening. And if you remember, I spoke a lot about the magical triangle. So you can see it from here. Here's the magical triangle. You've got Neptune, Pluto, and Saturn all in this triangle alignment. They're kind of holding space in the background in harmonious triangle to everything that is unfolding on the Earth. I'm going to show it to you on the chart. Neptune and Saturn in Pisces. Sorry, not Neptune, Saturn, Pluto. It's Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. Where is Uranus? There it is. So here is the Earth is here, and take from the Earth a line to Uranus, and take from the Earth a line to Pluto, and then Pluto sextile Neptune, Neptune sextile Uranus, and Uranus is trining the Earth, and Pluto is trining the Earth. So this is like the personal planets. There's a lot happening here, but in the background there is the big moving planet that are in charge of the much bigger picture are holding a harmonious triangle governing the whole process. Okay? Now, what else we said? Jupiter is stationed in retrograde in 9 days, and Pluto is stationed in direct. Pluto is stationed in direct. So because the Earth is now moving forward, now Pluto is stationed in direct. Okay? On the other side, because the Earth is now approaching Jupiter, Jupiter is stationed in retrograde. So now it seems as if Jupiter is going backwards until Jupiter will go direct again. Okay, so that's the retrograde. When the Earth is approaching the closest distance to the planet, the movement optical illusion is as if the planet going backward because we are passing it, which ultimately means that the influence of that planet is much more heightened. So that's how it looks like in the stars. If I'm going to bring it back to now, here it is. So this is the 3D look about this new moon solar eclipse. I'm going to come from above. That's a good one. Here it is. Okay. Here it is. You can see. Ooh, what did I press on? Dio mio. Alright, good. Solar system. Good. Again, from above, here we are, and this is the new moon solar eclipse. Sun, the Earth, the Moon, the Sun, Mercury conjunction, and this is also the path of Black Moon Lilith, which is it's an invisible point in the sky. It's not an orb, so you can't see it, but Black Moon Lilith is here too. And that's pretty much it with the 3D. Now let's come back to us. Here we are. So now that magical triangle that I showed you with Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, here it is on the chart. Here is Pluto on your 11 o'clock, sextile Neptune, 28 degrees of Pisces, which is sextile Uranus on the 26 Taurus, and Taurus and Uranus is trining Pluto. So this is that magical triangle. So remember how it looks like here on the chart? You see that? Uranus trine Pluto, while Pluto and Uranus both sextile Neptune, and they are holding this triangle. And now, last love stream we spoke about the Sun will go into this kite formation. The Sun came to the end of Virgo. This was last weekend. This was not this weekend, the weekend before. The Sun was on this bottom of the kite interacting with this magical triangle in a kite formation. Then on this weekend Mercury came here and interacted with this. Now pay attention what's happening on this dark moon phase. The moon is coming now into this kite formation. So you can see the moon is on 24, and if I'll move it a few hours forward, once the moon is coming here, 26-degree Virgo, she is now trining Uranus. Once she moves here to the 28, she is now opposing Neptune. Once we move to the 29, she is now trining Pluto. Okay, so this is all happening as we go into the eclipse. So we can say Wednesday 8 a.m. to midnight of tonight. So from tonight midnight until tomorrow morning, while we are asleep, the moon is interacting with this magical triangle. So there is an emotional processing, beneficial processing that is in Virgo. We are kind of embodying some kind of a process that is governed by these higher, bigger bodies that are in charge of the big evolutionary spirit. And the purpose of this magical triangle is soul evolution, spiritual evolution, in order to reinvent our physical existence, reality, into a whole new level. So it's kind of like, it's almost like Great Spirit is saying, look, you're going through some really chaotic time now. It's really intense, it's really epic, but we just want to comfort you to know that it's governed and guided by these divine orders, and it's all for the soul evolution of you as an individual and of humanity and the collective consciousness and the planet. So it's a very good medicine to have this magical triangle with us for a long time into the middle of 2025. Now let's go a bit more to the detail. I will say hello brother Guy, love you. Thank you Guy, I'm happy you loved the last love stream. And yes, minimal tech futuristic vibes here. This is ambient dub techno mix by Solar Radiance by Yonef, Y-O-N-E-F. Give him some love if you want, it's on YouTube. I will share the link on the chat now so you can have it all. I love supporting people, you know me. And that's the link. And hello Casper, and hello Jules, and hello brother Rolking. Woohoo! Awesome, good to have you guys with me. So look, there is a lot to unpack, okay? It's a very intense new moon solar eclipse. I will go there, but before I go there, I want to remind you that what happened earlier today, I'll go to today early morning, and early morning today, this is when we had the Mercury conjunct the Sun. So it happened exactly you see, they traveled together for quite some time, but it happened on the 9 minute, I think it was. No, it was on the 10th minute. Here we go. So Tuesday 6:50 a.m. So 6:50 a.m. exactly was the beginning of this exact conjunction on your 3 o'clock between Mercury and the Sun on the 8 degree and 10 minutes of Libra. And this is prior to the new moon solar eclipse. And it's coming after reminding you Mercury in the last month. Mercury was in Virgo. Mercury went through his retrograde from Virgo to Leo and back to Virgo. And then it moved through the Virgo and it moved through this kite formation, and now it's coming to the Sun, and there is a processing in the background. We are processing something. Something is coming to our awareness. It comes to our awareness. Our Sun, the Sun is our solar consciousness, is our light, the light of our soul, the conscious light of our soul. Mercury is consciousness, is the mind, it's the mental, it's the information and the reflection, processing, perception, our conversations, our communication, and it's in Libra. So first let's touch base with the Sun and Mercury. There is information coming up, like the Sun was in this kite with a magical triangle, and then Mercury was in this kite with a magical triangle, and out of that kite with the magical triangle they're coming into Libra, and the magical triangle happened while they were in the end of Virgo. And Virgo is a very mental sign, it's the home of Mercury, so it's about like facts and information and data and trying to perfect the plan. Something is coming in. And now when Mercury and the Sun came together this morning, all day today from yesterday, there is a processing in the background that we're not necessarily fully conscious of. Things are happening in the background. We are processing something. I can say on myself, I'm in this place the last 2 days. I know that I'm going through something and I have no idea what I'm going through. It's just, I'm not quite myself. It's not, something is not familiar. Something is not, it's unrecognizable. I can't fully recognize and understand what I'm going through, but I'm definitely aware that I'm going through something, and something is happening in the background. And so if you can relate to it, good. If not, it's okay. But in the background there is a mental process of the soul is reflecting or digesting information or processing information or data that was presented to it, and it's in Libra. And in Libra it means that it's about like legalities, it's about contracts, it's about agreements, relationships, it's about balance, it's about fairness, it's about harmony. And they came into this conjunction of today after passing the south node of the moon. And so first the Sun was with the Sun, first the Sun came to the south node on Sunday. Jennifer, hello Jennifer. Jules can relate. Okay, cool. Happy not to be the only one. So the Sun with the south node together. And even this love stream, I really pushed myself because I'm not in my most comfortable place. But I was like, okay, I have to show up. I have to be in service. It's a new moon solar eclipse. There's a lot to share. So the Sun was with the south node on Sunday evening, the last Sunday evening, and that happened exactly Sunday at 5:07 p.m. And this is when the Sun is coming out of this kite formation. Mercury, as you can see, Mercury is right behind it. So they've been journeying together for quite some time. Let's go back days. Here it is. So we can say from Friday, Mercury started chasing the Sun. On Friday, Mercury was 1st degree Libra, Sun was 4 degrees, 3 degrees apart is when we start to consider the event to be in potency. So from Friday, Mercury is chasing the Sun. From Friday, we are processing something, and it's only increasing as Mercury is coming closer to the Sun, and as both of them are coming closer to the south node. And then the Sun is exactly with the south node on Sunday evening, and Mercury is only 1 degree away, so they are really together. And the south node represents our past, not just past experiences in this lifetime. It represents karmic past lifetimes. And it's in Libra, so it's again around relationships, around legalities, around agreements. So there is processing about things that happened to us in the past, experiences, agreements, contracts, decisions and negotiations, legalities that happened in the past, in this lifetime or in past lifetime. We might be processing like, what's my karma with these relationships? Maybe you found yourself pondering about your manifestation of partners in this lifetime. Current partner that maybe you reflected on previous partners. Maybe you are kind of meditating or in your day by day just processing like different relationships you had in this life and the lessons you have learned through them, because who is on the opposite side? The North Node in Aries. It's all about birthing a new self. So the South Node is showing us what we are ending, what we are releasing, what we're walking away from in order for us to manifest the North Node, and the North Node is in Aries. So Aries, we have new needs, new desires, a new self wants to emerge, a new direction, a new assertion, a new confidence, new empowerment, new power, new vitality, new desire, I want to go to a whole new place, I want to become a whole new person. But on my way there, I'm looking at this kind of like all the things that happened to me. That relationship, that legal case, that court case, that business agreement, that partnership. It could be like your past decisions of who you went to business with, of who you went to bed with, of who you have made any forms of agreement, you subjected in your current present moment because of past legalities or contracts that were made. And maybe you're even pondering like, what the heck is this contract that I've made? Why do I keep on manifesting that? Why do I have to keep on processing that? Why do I have to keep on experiencing that? What could have been this karma? What could have been these contracts on a soul level? Because it's a past, it's lifetimes. So there is a lot of reflections here. There's a lot of mental processing here. And also reminding you, we are in eclipse season. It is the time where the changes are very big. It's a very condensed 4 weeks of big changes, impactable changes, penetrating changes, fundamental changes. And so we are in between that full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces we had 2 weeks ago, which was ultimately Pisces, about the ending and dissolving and releasing and surrendering and letting go and healing. And we are rising into this new moon solar eclipse in Libra, which is relationships and balance and harmony and justice and fairness, but it's with the South Node. So it's kind of like it's a new beginning, it's a massive new beginning, but this massive new beginning is actually all about ending the past. It's kind of a interesting mixed dance when we have a new moon solar eclipse on the South Node. It's kind of like, okay, we are starting a new chapter, we are starting a new cycle, but guess what? It's about ending the past. It's not about moving forward. It's not about like initiating the new. It's about ending the past. It's about facing the shadows of the past. It's about facing the agreements of the past, relationships of the past, contracts of the past, karma of the past, in order to acknowledge it, understand it, heal it, release it, put the stamp on it. It's over, it's done, which is going to happen anyway. If you do it consciously or not, that's what's happening. All that so we could achieve the North Node in Aries, which is all about the new self, the new direction, the new essence. And from here, by the way, from this new moon solar eclipse, it will take us from now until the middle of March of 2025, where we're going to have the eclipses in Pisces, Virgo. And the eclipse in Pisces that is going to be in March is epic. We're going to have like Sun, Moon, Saturn, Neptune, North Node all together at the end of Pisces. Epic, epic, epic. So this is what's happening to us as we are rising into this new moon solar eclipse. That we have a lot of mental processing, a lot of activity in our local environments, negotiations, talking, conversing with friends, with family, with partners, with the system, with lawyers, with the bosses, with the real estate, with whatever you need to deal with. There's a lot of that happening. That is bringing up things that reminds us the past. Things that makes us face this past, like the South Nodes, like what is this karma? I had enough of this. I don't want this karma anymore. I want to end these contracts. I want to cut the cords. I had a few healing sessions this week that was all about that. It was all about I had enough. I want to go deep into the core of why I'm feeling like this, why I'm doing like this. I want to cut the cords. I want to shift. And if you are in a place in your life where you are facing this kind of processes, it will be my pleasure to help you. That's what I do. Come and see me. So if I'm already saying that, I forgot to say at the beginning, Love and gratitude to the Patreon community for your love and support. Today we started a new month of our community membership, so I really appreciate all of your support. It means a lot to me, and it's good to have you around with us in our chat rooms, sharing yourself, and feel free to keep on sharing yourself and share what comes your way to empower the rest of us. And if you want to support me, please press like on this movie. It's for free, unconditional support. Press like on this movie, subscribe to our channel. We have 1,110 subscribers. The next subscriber is going to be the 1111, who is the lucky one, hey? And so subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends, with your family, whoever is in need of hearing this. It might help them. It might help them shed some light into their life, into their experiences. So go for your life. If you want to support me further and be a part of our community, we have a beautiful community online. It's on patreon.com/healingdelight, where we have our exclusive Telegram chat rooms for crypto, for astrology, for world events, for gardening, for all kind of things. So feel free to join us there. And this is where the community is receiving every month the new moon and the full moon sound healing meditation recording, which I will record on this Wednesday for the community and post it to them. But if you don't want to join our community for some weird reason that I can't understand, because it's really awesome, then you can always just purchase the recording of the full moon and new moon as a standalone product as well on patreon.com/healingdelight. In regards to sound healing meditation, we have tomorrow night, Wednesday 7 p.m, the sound healing for the new moon solar eclipse in Libra. Very powerful, very healing. Good time to join me. You can find the link to the booking system and all the information on the new website, soundhealingdelight.com. The address is right underneath me right here. And this is where you can read about the sound healing, about private sessions, couple healing sessions, crypto coaching sessions, whatever you need. I'm here for you. Come and see me. It will be my pleasure to help you. It's a very powerful time to do healing work, people. Very powerful time. We are entering a true phase of self-mastery on a soul level, on a very big, deep level. So keep on doing the good work. We will get through it all. Luxica de Silva, hello. You can strongly relate to. Good. I'm not the only one. It's good to know. Shalom, Ima. Yes, I want to say this new year, this new moon solar eclipse, auspiciously, new moon solar eclipse in Libra, it's also the Hebrew New Year's Eve. So the Hebrew New Year's Eve is beginning the cycle of the New Year celebration that is starting from now into February. And so we say Shana Tova Umetuka, have a good and sweet new year, and to everyone. So Shana Tova to everyone, Umetuka to everyone. May this year brings much more sweetness and blessings into our life, and will be better than before, but it will be an interesting year indeed. It's interesting that this new moon solar eclipse is the New Year's Eve of the Hebrew tradition, when Israel is in the headlines of the entire world, and you all know what's going on there. Very much relating to the astrology. So back to the astrology now. Mercury Sun South Node exactly happened on Sunday evening. So first was the Sun on Sunday 5 p.m. and then a few hours later, there we go, on Monday at 10 a.m. To be precise, there we go. Monday at 10:09 a.m. Mercury was exactly with the South Node, while they're all together. Yeah, it's like 6 degrees 38 minutes. The Sun is on 7 degrees 19. And now if I bring it back to now, you can see that Mercury, and today in the morning there was the conjunction of Mercury and the Sun, but you can see they're still together. The Sun is on 8 degrees 45 minutes, South Node 6 degrees 38 minutes, Mercury 9 degrees 13 minutes, Black Moon Lilith 10 degrees 25 minutes. And so from here what's happening is what I told you before, that now the moon is heading towards the kite, and the moon is going into this kite formation from tonight as we go to sleep until tomorrow morning. And let's see the exact time. At 8 a.m. and 19 minutes tomorrow morning, the moon enters Libra. And by that time, Mercury is already on the 10th. And the other thing that was happening in the last few days is that Mars was trine Saturn. And that's beneficial, that's harmonious, that's beautiful. That means that the actions we are taking in order to create more security emotionally for ourselves, for our inner child, and at home, we might have received more recognition or more acknowledgement. You might have received compliment from your partner or appreciation for the efforts you've made. Maybe you kind of really took the initiative to make some changes to make your partner or your family or beloveds to feel more safe and happy and loved and secured and nurtured. And suddenly there was a bit more recognition or appreciation of that, mutual as well. Saturn is mainly related to the archetype of the father, the grandfather, so the authority in your life. You might have just like the authority is dealing with you in a pleasant way, you know. You might have kind of like contacted some authorities you are dealing with, and you've received like supportive development. They were actually listening to you, helping you, willing to help you. So that's that as well. But even on an inner self level, your spiritual integrity and your spiritual responsibility and your spiritual karma of Saturn in Pisces is supporting and promoting your actions of acting for home, for your emotional security. Maybe you showed a bit more discipline and you really kind of cut back on your addiction, if it's to alcohol or if it's to drugs or if it's to Netflix or if it's to bad news or if it's to any form of escapism. And suddenly, you know, you can see the benefits of it. You're feeling a bit better, a bit clearer, a bit more positive, a bit more secured emotionally, a bit more stable. That's the thing, you know, it's also spiritual discipline. Maybe you took your meditation practice or yoga practice or any practice that kind of bring you a bit more into your spirit, into your kind of love vibration, peace vibration. And by kind of tapping into your discipline and doing it a bit more and doing your practice and doing your homework on a spiritual level, it promotes you feeling a bit better, you know, a bit more stable, a bit more kind of like secure. Maybe it's not to an amazing extent, but even a little one is kind of, a little benefit is good. Now, so now we're going to the new moon. And as you can see, the new moon is coming here on your 2:33 o'clock, and the exact time is on Thursday early morning. Here is the exact moment of the new moon solar eclipse in Libra on Thursday at 4:48 a.m. So as we wake up to Thursday, if you're an early waker, you can meditate on that time. It's like 12 minutes before 5 a.m. But if you're kind of a normal sleeper, then, you know, you go to sleep, you put your intentions out there, and, you know, you sleep with that. I need to drink a bit, just a second. Okay, so on this new moon solar eclipse chart, we can see a big party here on the 10th degree of Libra. Moon 10:03, Sun 10:03, Black Moon Lilith 10:33, and Mercury 11:32. So it's all conjunct. It's a new moon solar eclipse conjunct Mercury and Black Moon Lilith. That by itself is a big headline. Why? Because it means that we are in Libra. This is a new moon, a new cycle. Happy birthday to all the Libras, by the way. It's a new cycle that we are starting from Thursday early morning of a lunar cycle, and it's also a new cycle of 6 months. And so whatever we initiate now on this new moon solar eclipse, it's a seed that will sprout in the coming month, but it will develop further as we go in over the next 6 months. The way the eclipses are working is that it's a gong. If a new moon and a full moon, it's a crystal ball or a Tibetan ball, comes the eclipse and it's a gong, so it ripples for longer. You know, you can play a ball, you can play a drum, but you hit the gong and it ripples for like a long time. And as the new moons and the full moons come in between 6 months of eclipses, they are flicking the pages in that chapter. So an intention on a new moon solar eclipse is even more important, is even more significant, because it's an intention of 6 months, not just 1 month. And in Libra, what is Libra about? We want more balance, we want more harmony, we want more fairness, we want more equilibrium, to be in equilibrium between us and ourselves, between us and others, in our relationships, in our lives. We want to have more love, we want to have more harmony, we want to have more beauty, we want to have more fairness. So it's kind of like, hey, how can we make our relationship more fair? How can I make myself more in equilibrium? What do I need in order to be more in harmony? Now, the interesting thing, as I said at the beginning, it's a new moon solar eclipse, which is a new beginning, but it's on the south node. So it's like 3.5 degrees away from the south node. And so this is about, like, it's a new beginning, it's a new cycle. By looking into the past and dealing with the past and cutting the cords to the past, ending agreements of the past, ending contracts of the past, it's the final eclipse on Libra Aries. That's it. Actually, there might be another one later on. I need to check into that. But it's pretty much that. Okay, so it's kind of like, hey, this North Node is calling us to birth a new self. Who is in Aries? Chiron. What have we been processing very significantly over the last year, since the nodes entered Aries Libra? This wounded sense of self. And it was very epic when the North Node was close to Chiron, and remember we had a few eclipses with Chiron involved, and there was a lot of energy with Chiron, especially at the beginning of the year. Everything passed through Chiron, okay? So all this cycle of these eclipses in Libra Aries really heightened to us our sense of wounding, our insecurities, our lack, what we don't have, what we don't feel, what we're not capable of, how we got wounded, how we got abused, how we got victimized. This was very, very loud and clear, because the North Node is saying, look at that, see that, you have to step out of that. You have to step out of your mold, the old mold of your own self, your old self, of that victim, of that wounded. Yes, it's a part of you. I had a lady this week that we dealt with some really deep stuff, and one of the things I told her is, like, one of the first things we need to do is to realize you are not your trauma. A lot of times victim associates with themselves with the trauma. It becomes a part of their identity, and that makes it very hard to release the trauma and to heal and to move on from the trauma. And so in that process, we need to do a bit of detachment. It was like, you are not your trauma. The trauma is a part of you. You are not a victim. The victimhood is something that happened to you. You are not really wounded. You were wounded in the past, but the wound is not you. The wound shaped you. And so Chiron is the wounded healer, because it holds the key for us to heal, for our self-mastery. It says, that wound has shaped you to become who you are. As a healer, I can tell you what I tell people who I sit with. The reason why I'm a healer, the reason why I can help people, is because I have been through that. And so I took my wounding and my traumas and my pain and everything that happened to me, and I turned it into the remedy, into the medicine that I can offer others to help them move out of that too. And most healers are that. Most healers are actually people that actually get wounded, traumas, abuse, and they just have to process it and get through it. And once you get to that place, you want to help others. You want to hold the torch for others to find that light within them too. And that's what Chiron is for us. So all this journey of the nodes in Aries Libra, the North Node is saying, look how wounded you feel. Feel it, embody it, acknowledge it. You see, it's like, even if you didn't want to, you had no choice. You had no choice. We all felt it this year very strongly. And on a collective in general, we can say it in many ways. But it's been done. The North Node in Aries is moved out of Chiron and is now in the 6th degree of Aries, in the final 6th degree of Aries, because the nodes are moving backwards. So he's now gonna go from now into January. It's gonna go through the last final months of this journey, and it's gonna go, I'm done with this. I want a new self. It's not I want. It's like, yes, it's Aries is our wants, our needs, our desires. But it's more than that. It's kind of the North Node is saying, I am a new self. I am a new desire. I am a new need. I am a new direction. I am a new healed self. I am. It's no longer a choice. That's Aries. I don't care what others think about it. Libra. Aries Libra. I am with how it affects the others. So the North Node is saying, like, don't worry about what others will think about you. Don't worry about what others will feel about you. Don't worry about what others will do about what you want to do. You need to do what you need to do in order to heal yourself, move forward, and create something new for yourself. But don't be ignorant. Don't be arrogant. Don't be selfish. Don't be self-centered. Consider the others, of course. Don't be an abrupt kind of firebomb that just blow up the house. Do it in harmony with others. That's the Libra Aries. But this new moon solar eclipse in Aries on the South Node saying, we really need to take a whole big step to stop the patterns of past relationships, to end contracts on a soul level, karmic contracts. This is the ending of karmic contracts, soul contracts, and it's already happening. So this is just another level of it. You might have already experienced a lot of endings of contracts with friends, partners, family, whatever, business over the last few months. But this is now going on a soul level. It's going on this karmic level because of the South Node existence there. And because of the magical triangle of Pluto, Neptune, Uranus. Okay? Reminding you, the moon, Mercury, and Sun all came into this new moon solar eclipse after they interacted with them in that kite formation with that magical triangle of Pluto, Neptune, Uranus. So Pluto, Neptune, Uranus have planted these seeds. They planted these seeds through intuition, through subconscious processes, unconscious, like this kind of like deep soul kind of like guidance from spirit, kind of almost comforting. It's like, yeah, we know you may not fully understand what's happening to you. You're in this cocoon. I told these stories many times. You wore the caterpillar, you are in the cocoon, you've melted down from a caterpillar to 100% liquid. You are no longer the caterpillar, you are not the butterfly. You are just this liquid. And you don't know what you are, you don't know who you are, you don't know what's going on, you just know that you're going through a process. And all you can do is just trust that process and allow it to guide you, and just get through that and hold space of love for yourself and compassion for yourself and faith that all of this is for your benefit and it will all be good for you at the end. But for us to get there, we need to understand Mercury, about this Libra with the sun and the moon, our feelings, our feminine, and our soul expression, our sun. We need to understand, we need to change the way we think, change the way we talk, change the way we communicate, change the way we exchange, change the way we trade, that is based on old outdated patterns, that is based on old kind of soul contracts, old kind of relationships. It's like, if you want to manifest a new type of partner, you have to step out of the mold that manifested all these previous partners. If you're an empath and you kept manifesting narcissist, you have to step out of this kind of like naive, vulnerable empath that put everyone else before you, because that's not balance and harmony towards you, which then manifests those that abuse you. If you always put others in front of you and you always do everything so others, that's Libra, a pleaser, the pleaser. If you're a people pleaser, and all you got along your life is spit in your face, is because universe is saying like something you're doing is not right. It's not because universe wants to abuse you. You're a people pleaser, and the universe is saying, excuse me, that's not honoring yourself. You're not pleasing yourself. You're pleasing everyone else, but you're not pleasing yourself. You are keeping the peace with everyone in the cost of yourself. As long as there is peace, okay, I'll do whatever you want, just don't get upset. Okay, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to complain about that, I don't want you to get upset. No, it's okay, I'll do that. And you keep on doing that, and you keep on suffering inside. And you enable the abuser to abuse. So in order for the victim to manifest an abuser, the victim need to be in the mold of a victim. You couldn't manifest an abuser if you were not a victim. Simple as that. So maybe you are processing all these past relationships that abused you, that you were a victim to unjust, unfair treatment by others. That was not in harmony, even though that's all you wanted. And you didn't get it. And you're trying to understand why. And this is the time that we are going to understand more why. On a deep level, because there's some really deep psychic stuff going on in the charts that supports that. So we're all going on a very deep purge of our deep psyche on a much bigger scale than just the current unfolding that is supposed to liberate us and free us, because Uranus is in Taurus, relationships, love, money, sex, ruled by Venus. Libra is the home of Venus, the second home of Venus. It's about relationships. You know, Pluto in Capricorn for the last month. There's like 5 weeks left. The old character, the old structure, the old karma, ending. Time to demolish, blow it up. Neptune in Pisces, spiritual, guided by the divine forces, dissolving, waking up from illusions in order to birth new dreams. So it's all supporting this. And this new moon solar eclipse in Libra is coming as a very powerful trigger point. And I said Mercury, Sun, Moon, South Node, but I kept for last Black Moon Lilith. And Black Moon Lilith is a very important player in this new moon solar eclipse, because Black Moon Lilith is the shadow feminine. It's the taboo. It's your secret fantasies, your fetishes, your hidden desires, your primordial kundalini urges, your I'm horny, I really want sex. That's your Lilith. I'm really jealous. I'm really envy. That's Lilith. It's that primal, shadowy aspects of the feminine, of the emotional feminine kind of processing. I'm really jealous of her. I'm really jealous of him. I'm really envy. It's like, and a lot of times it just happens until you go like, wait a second. Why am I jealous? What is it over there that I'm jealous of, that I'm feeling the lack of within me? So with Black Moon Lilith, on this dark moon, on this new moon solar eclipse, it's like we are getting to face subconscious, shadowy, darker aspects of our feminine that are unpleasant. It's almost like open the gate for the shadows. Let the shadows come out. And by the way, eclipses is always the time where the auric field is a bit kind of compromised. And you know, when you look at the moon coming into the sun, it's almost like a cigar cut. It's like a snap. It's like the moon is snapping the sun. So it's kind of like above Argentina there would be like a bit of more darkness in the middle of light. And so in eclipses, more than any other time, it's always used to good to enforce protection, psychic protection, energetic protection, black tourmaline, some cleansing, some sage, some visualization, white light, golden light, your own invocation of your own protection of your field. And that's something good to do. And as I'm doing that, I just got this frequency in my right ear. So yeah, Black Moon Lilith with this new moon solar eclipse We have to look into the ugly side in us that is coming from this lifetime and past lifetimes that have caused us to manifest these relationships and this lack of fairness and lack of justice and lack of harmony and lack of equilibrium. It's almost like there's this ugly purge so we could feel better, so we could actually be better on an individual and on the collective. So if I'll take it to the collective for you to understand it in a very easy way, humanity is facing this very ugly, dark purge of hidden secrets, of taboo, of sexual abuse of children by very powerful people in society, celebrities, politicians. And those of you who've been digging the web lately, you know what I'm talking about, and those of you who haven't, you don't know what it's massive. And I'm talking about Puff Diddy and all the things that are unfolding with it. And since the Puff Diddy story started, this is how it relates to Pluto and Capricorn. Pluto is revealing and exposing any place of corruption, abuse of power, abuse of sex, abuse of money, lack of integrity, in order to demolish it, to break it down. Pluto, the agent of change in Capricorn. And what happened since Puff Diddy's story started, since his arrest? We had a wave of CEOs resigning. We have all kind of people suddenly, it's like a few famous people deleted their entire Twitter feed. What's his name? Kevin, I think. Kevin, forgot his surname, one of these funny comedian actors. He closed down 4 of his vegan restaurants suddenly out of nowhere, and he's very involved in that. So you can see things are starting to happen, and it's not fully outblown in the open yet, unless you are digging it. And even if you're digging it, it's simmering and simmering and simmering. And when the facts are gonna come out and when the names are gonna be validated officially and come out, it will shake humanity. Like Beyonce is losing millions of followers. Swift is losing millions of followers. There's many of them that are already starting to feel the effect, and it's only the beginning. And that is caused, and humanity will have to face the truth that was hidden, that there's a whole network of child trafficking and abuse in a very dark, evil way. And unfortunately, that's a part of it, and it's unpleasant to even talk about, and I'm being very cautious talking about it, but we have to mention it because it's a big part of it. It's kind of, you can see it. And when this darkness, we are now listening to 432 hertz music for spiritual healing by Awakening Planet. When the darkness comes out and there's this kind of like the floodgates of evil, when you read into the things, when you listen to the things, when you watch the testimonies of people that experience it, it is evil beyond understanding. It is so dark. It is out of the game, out of the field of many people on the planet. And that's what Black Moon Lilith is doing on this new moon solar eclipse, and that's what Pluto is doing in Capricorn, and that's what Uranus is doing in Taurus, shock and trauma, to the sense of safety, family, home, love, relationships. And a lot of people are going to be traumatized and shocked in financial way through that as well. And so I brought that story on purpose to show you, is like, think like how humanity, the common Joe that doesn't even read into these things, but I know them so well by now because I've been aware of it for many years, and I've been predicting that it's going to happen for many years. And here it is coming now. It's really simmering, and it's very dark and it's very disturbing. But we have to become aware of it. We have to hear it, we have to see it, we have to acknowledge it in order for that to stop. Because if we will not see it, not hear it, not face it, not confront it, it will continue. And others will continue to get abused and in an unfair, unjust, unharmonious way. And so take that collective metaphor as what it could be for us personally on an internal level, that it's almost like you have to feel, why do I have that addiction? Why do I have that jealousy? Why do I have that sense of revenge? Why do I have that sense of anger? Why do I have that upset? And it's not that we are judging it. That's Libra, judgment. There's going to be a lot of judgment. Oh my God. There's going to be a lot of judgment. A lot of legalities. A lot of... For a significant portion of couples and relationship, this could be a lot of breakups. This could be divorces. This could be a family court system. And for some cases, because of Black Moon Lilith, this could go dark. And it will expose the dark nature of people, of how people, and I experienced it in my own personal life, that when people go to the family court system and to divorce processes, the shadow aspects of themselves is coming out full blown. And with Venus in Scorpio also, Venus, love, relationships, money, sex, in Scorpio, digging into the secrets, revealing this kind of like shadowy aspects of the feminine as well, supporting the Black Moon Lilith stuff. So, you go to family court system, divorce process, and suddenly the greed is coming and taking over people, and the fear is coming and taking over people, and it blinds their soul, and it takes them on a dark journey of attacking each other, revenging each other, destroying each other, betraying and cheating and lying and deceiving and everything in order to destroy and create chaos and demolish the other person and take all their money and take their business and take their children and take their this and take their that, all because they are driven by this primordial dark shadowy aspect of themselves, Black Moon Lilith. The sense of revenge, of jealousy, of enviness, of anger, of acting upon that emotion is like the taboo, sexual taboo, all the Lilith rules the sexual taboo. Remind you, the story of Black Moon Lilith is she was the first wife of Adam. But she wasn't that kind of like a submissive wife that is kind of like doing whatever Adam needs. She was the opposite. She was kind of like a woman that's like, you're not going on top of me, I'm going on top of you. You do the dishes. Like that's kind of Black Moon Lilith. Is that like usually I call it that femme fatale that walks in down the main street of Byron Bay with the tattoos and the piercings, and she walks like a peacock, like a goddess, like I'm a goddess. It's the toxic feminine could be as well. And that's what we are all going to be looking into in order to identify, in order to recognize, because over there will be the hints into these past karmic experiences, the South Node in Libra, in relationship with others. This will give us the hidden understanding of why we manifested this type of experiences, this type of contracts, this type of relationships that we are done with, we don't want anymore. We are walking away from this. And so if we take this to the empowering part, it's like, okay, you used to react like that when this was said to you by that person. And over the time, you've learned to tame yourself and to kind of master that. And you're coming now to a stage that you go, suddenly that person throw that ball at you that usually triggers you, and you've been doing that work for a while, and now you're in this place of like, I'm not affected by this anymore. It doesn't do the same effect on me anymore. I'm not touched by it. I don't need to react to it. I don't need to respond to it. I don't even have the internal reaction to it that I used to have. I don't have the internal effect of it that I used to have, because I'm over it. I'm done. I'm done with that. I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm just showing you there's like this process, not necessarily something you're only starting now. It's something that you have been processing and working on for a while. And now it's coming to this finale. This is the start of the ending. So it's a new moon solar eclipse of ending the old. That's it. And it's on many levels of the chart. Not just with this Libra new moon solar eclipse, with Pluto at the end of Capricorn. With over the coming year of Neptune and Saturn at the end of Pisces. With Uranus over the coming year at the end of Taurus. With Jupiter at the end of Gemini. It's all kind of like ending old ways of thinking, ending old ways of being, ending old ways of relating, ending old ways of being you, because a new you wants to be born. And it's bigger than you. So remember that, keep that in the back of your mind, that around the corner there is a beautiful new self emerging, a beautiful new world emerging, but we are now going through a dark purge. Uncomfortable dark purge. Claire Dan, the energy of the moon eclipse is intense. Yeah, it's very intense. Very, very intense. And we will see a lot of things happening in the world. And continue to be intense throughout October. This is just the new moon solar eclipse, but all of October. Massive. Massive, massive, massive. Because from this new moon solar eclipse in Libra, we are then going to a very intense full moon in Aries 2 weeks from now. That is going to be in a square to Mars and Pluto. Dio mio, oh my God, there's going to be a lot of fire, a lot of drama, a lot of emotion. So what to be aware of? Because we are dealing with a lot of these shadowy, unconscious, primordial kind of urges that are just coming through, that's what Black Moon Lilith is bringing to us. It's more about like, hey, check that. Check that primordial urge. Check that shadowy aspect of you. Don't judge it. Don't wound yourself over it. Acknowledge it. You're human. It's okay. But don't act on it. You're bigger than that. You don't want to do that anymore. It comes and you really want to, and you're feeling, that jealousy, or that enviness, or that horniness, or that desire, or that kind of fantasy, or that fetish, or that addiction, or that subconscious pattern that just come, and you're used to it because that's who you've been, but you're in a place in your life that you don't want to be that anymore. So when it will come, you will have to go like, no, what is this about? Why am I feeling this? What is it teaching me? Okay? Pivot. Renavigate. To empower. Because that's what Pluto is doing. Pluto is saying, hey, you've been disempowered by external authorities, Capricorn. You've been disempowered by karma, Capricorn. You've been disempowered by your old character, your old discipline or lack of discipline, your old integrity or lack of integrity. You've been disempowered by this institution that you have created of yourself. And I want you to reclaim your power, so I'm going to break it down for you. And Black Moon Lilith is going to show you these urges, these subconscious urges that are going to like, check this out. That's what has been causing you disharmony, inequality, unfairness, unjust. Don't do that anymore. Change. Deep psychic walk. Deep psychic walk. And with Mercury there, the mental, the mind, the perception, the thoughts, it's like we are processing it. It's like, wow, we are getting information, we are getting insights. So this is this new moon solar eclipse, and what else we can say about it is that Mars is in a trine to, breaking out of the trine to Saturn, we said, so this is that beautiful spiritual karmic support by taking action of maturity. Remember what we said about Mars in Cancer until April 2025, long time. What to be careful of is not to be the googie gear toddler that has a tantrum. Not to act upon impulsive emotions, not to be like a child. Is to allow that inner child to grow older, to grow up, and becomes from like a googie gear to a bigger boy, to a bigger girl. Okay, so it's kind of like take action for your emotional security, and when your inner child is feeling shaken and insecure, take action to provide it what it needs in order to regulate and to come to a place of emotional security. Be there for you. Don't act upon the tantrum. Listen to the tantrum, comfort you, and bring you to a stable place. And if you do this work properly, trine to Saturn, karmic spiritual development that supports you, that provides you that unconditional love, that spiritual guidance, that spiritual healing. Okay? Now, the beautiful thing, as you can see, there is a grand water trine building, and it's going to be here for a while. Saturn 14 Pisces, Mars 15 Cancer, Venus 11 Scorpio. And if I take you through the days for a moment, here is Venus 12, Mars 16, Saturn 14. Here is Venus 14, Saturn 14, Mars 16. So it's this big water trine that is following the new moon solar eclipse. So Venus exactly, am I skipping? Yeah, Venus, this is the next big thing, is that Venus is coming to the exact trine with Saturn and Mars here on Saturday, the 5th of October at 3:02 a.m. So it's Friday night. So this new moon solar eclipse is on Thursday early morning. Then on Friday late night, early morning Saturday, Venus trines Saturn. And both of them are still trining Mars. So it's not on Saturday early morning, it's from this new moon solar eclipse as we initiate the new and we pay attention to this kind of shadowy aspect of ourselves. In the background there's this beautiful harmonious trine. Hello Catherine, hi from UK. You're late again? You're never late, Alan. You are always on time. Maybe that's very healing for you to hear. You are always on time, in the time that is right for you to be here with us. Thank you for joining us. You can always watch the rest afterwards. So, as we are coming from this new moon solar eclipse and we initiate this new beginning, this new chapter, and we are paying attention to these unconscious shadowy urges that are coming up for us, and we're reflecting on ending old contracts and ending old patterns in relationships and ending old ways that caused lack of equilibrium and lack of harmony in our life. In the background, Venus is building this beautiful trine to Saturn. And it's a grand water trine. Venus Scorpio, Saturn Pisces, Mars Cancer, all water signs, which indicates emotional. Trine is harmonious, beneficial, beautiful developments. It's harmonizing. And it's the water, it's the emotions. How beautiful. Mars in Cancer, taking the action at home, taking the action for the inner child, taking the action masculine ego self, is being here for the inner child, is being here for its own emotional regulation, to feel safe, loved, secured, nurtured inside of us. That is supported by Saturn in Pisces, spiritual, karmic, divine support and development. And it's interesting how Saturn is doing the karmic support development that is harmonious with Venus and Mars, the masculine and feminine, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, Venus and Mars, which are basically the relationship, Libra. Following the new moon solar eclipse in Libra, the divine masculine Mars and the divine feminine Venus are both in the emotional water signs of Scorpio and Cancer, trining, harmonizing with Saturn, which is karma, when we just said that the South Node in Libra is ending karmic contracts, ending karmic patterns. This is beautiful. You picking it up? So I said what Mars is doing in Cancer, I said what Saturn is doing in Pisces, and Venus in Scorpio. She wants to feel deep connection. She wants to have not just sex. She wants to have a transcendental orgasmic connection with her lover. She doesn't want just to abuse her sexuality. She wants to sleep with someone that honors her, and I'm saying her because it's a Venus, it's feminine, but it can be for a man as well, him. He wants to sleep not just with any woman, he wants to sleep with a woman that actually really connects with him, makes love to him, and transcend with him into a orgasmic explosion. That's Scorpio. She doesn't just want to do business with anyone, she want to do business with people she connects with on a deeper level. She doesn't care if she doesn't gonna have 1,000 clients, but if she has 100 clients that are really connected to her and really she managed to make a good impact on them, that fulfills her. Venus in Scorpio wants to feel deeply. When she connects with her partner, leave sex alone, any type of connection on an intimate level, to feel each other deeply, to connect on a deeper level. So a couple that is doing this deep walk, this deep shadow walk of recognizing what kind of toxic patterns they bring to their relationship, which is causing disharmony, then as the partners do the walk, I had this lady in this week that her partner sent her to me because he knows me well. And she has come because she wanted to do the walk, because she recognized that she's doing things that are harming the relationship. They are not beneficial, not necessarily something too way out there, but very kind of day by day mundane things. And she realized where it's going to, where it's connected to, and that's the walk we were doing. And by doing that healing walk, the partner knows that she has come to do healing work, that she's finally doing something about it. Organically, the partner feels good about it. The partner is relieved. And the partner recognizes and acknowledges the effort of the beloved. And then the beloved comes home after a healing session, and both partners sit and share together about it, and they can connect on a deeper level, and there is more appreciation, there is more love, there is more connection on a spiritual level. Saturn in Pisces. So this storyline was a perfect example of this water trine. Okay? And this is following the new moon solar eclipse. Sonia. Hello, Sonia from Australia. It's your first time watching. I love the music in the background. Very relaxing. Thank you, Sonia. Great info. Thank you, Sonia. You're a very beautiful, loving being that expresses appreciation and gratitude. So good on you. Thank you. I'll give you a bit more volume from that. And I said before, this is 432 hertz music for spiritual healing by Awakening Planet. I'll share with you the link in the chat right now so you can enjoy it in your free time. And there it is. There you go. It's in the chat room now. And that's another part of it, you know. Music, healing, Pisces, Saturn, and connecting. And so yeah, this is this beautiful trine of the big water trine. It continues, so it's already from now, like I told you to. So when did this is exactly, Venus and Saturn are exactly on Saturday, 3:02 a.m. Then Venus and Mars, Venus is trining Mars exactly. Then look at that, the moon comes to Venus. This is on Sunday, Saturday late night. Moon comes to Venus. And the moon and Venus together are trining Saturn and trining Mars. So here is the emotional body coming from the new moon solar eclipse. There is some positive beneficial development this weekend following this new moon solar eclipse. And then Venus comes to trine Saturn exactly, Mars, exactly on... She's catching up with him. Here it is. Oops. Venus catches up with Mars, trine to Mars exactly on the 18 degree and 37 minutes on Tuesday, the 8th of October. Next Tuesday, a week from now, is when Venus, here at your 2 o'clock, 18 degrees 38 minutes of Scorpio, is going to do the exact trine with Mars, 18 degrees 38 of Cancer, and kind of breaking out of Saturn. Saturn is already moved to 13 degree, So first, Mars touched base with Saturn. So let's go backwards. Venus will trine Mars on next Tuesday at 9:17 p.m. Scorpio to Cancer. The divine feminine wants to feel deeply, to connect deeply, to be empowered through her love, through her relationship, through her sexuality, through her business, through her money, through her investment. In Scorpio, it gives her the sense of empowerment, and it's harmonized with the divine masculine in Cancer by taking actions at home for the inner child, for emotional security, for nurturing. This is beautiful for couples, really harmonizing, and this could be beautiful for singles, since on this new moon solar eclipse, you are intending and putting the intentions out there to end and release old contracts, old karmic contracts of old past relationship and Black Moon Lilith will show you if you're carrying any jealousy or enviness or rage or upset or revenge or anger and all these things. You are clearing it and you're releasing it, and suddenly you could meet someone. You could meet someone on a new level, on a deeper level. There could be some development. Maybe you're already dating him or dating her, and suddenly there will be a much deepening experience with him or her. Maybe you will meet someone that is karmic, that is divine, that is beautiful, and new contracts. Maybe you're starting a new business with someone, maybe a new business venture, maybe a new partnership, maybe a new investment. Maybe you decided to finally buy Bitcoin. Hint. Maybe this is the time where you bought silver and silver is suddenly taking off because it's about to break. Hint. So yeah, really, really beautiful. But if you are single and you're happy to be single and you're not really dating and you're not really meeting anyone, this is internally between you and you, your divine feminine emotions and your divine masculine. Suddenly you're feeling at peace. You're finally home, in your heart, in yourself, content, feeling your own beauty, loving yourself, accepting yourself, connected to yourself. Delicious. Okay? So that's Venus trine Mars next Tuesday, 9:17. Prior to that, Venus Saturn on, what did I say, Saturday? Yeah? Venus Saturn on Saturday, 3:17 a.m., Friday night. Prior to that, Mars has already done that on Monday and Tuesday of this week. So Monday, Tuesday this week, there was some Mars action warrior masculine that are harmonizing with Saturn, discipline, spiritual discipline, integrity, that is kind of like supporting, maybe recognition, positive developments with authorities, with father figure, or things like that. Then will come Venus to Saturn on Friday night, and Venus in Scorpio, she's feeling deeply some positive development. Pisces to Scorpio, Scorpio psychic, Pisces psychic, spiritual psychic perceptions, deep insights coming through your psychic, through your dreams, through your intuition. There's some real kind of powerful transcendental kind of concept happening on a spiritual psychic level here as well. And then following that, Venus and Mars next Tuesday. Okay? Now, in the middle of this, the next thing that is happening is there we go. So this is the eclipse. That's the Friday, the Saturday. Beautiful. And there's another big thing actually. Let's go there. Yeah, that's the second thing. So here is a bit of a friction, because we have to have a bit of friction from time to time, right? So here is the next friction, which is happening on, boom, here we go. on Sunday, the 6th of October at 4:28 p.m. So remember, I'm telling you the time of the exact alignment, and this is all set by Melbourne, Australia. So you can look on the internet like the time difference between Melbourne to your location, and then you can see when it's happening. As the moon is together with Venus in Scorpio, we are feeling deeply. We want to connect on a deeper level. And as Venus and moon are both trining Mars and Saturn, Mercury here in Libra, which is a big part of this new moon solar eclipse, Mercury is processing something here. And Mercury in Libra is squaring Mars. So this is a bit of a friction of maybe in communication. This is where relationships that maybe are not in the best place. This is where they could have like the arguments or disagreement or debate. And this is where people need to be careful of the shadowy aspect of Black Moon Lilith. This is where the trickster is kind of coming in, because we are feeling Venus in Scorpio, the moon is with Scorpio, we are feeling deeply. Okay? And if we will do the harmonious alignments with Saturn by being responsible in our spiritual integrity, with discipline, unconditional love, compassion, understanding, by taking action of our emotional body in Cancer, not allowing the toddler, the gugigia, to take over and to explode and be abrupt because you're feeling something. If you will do that work, it will harmonize you, support you development. Okay? And that will help you dealing with a square between Mars and Mercury. Because Mercury is in Libra. I need to talk to you about something. I'm not happy about how you do this. This is not fair. It's not fair that I always do all the cooking. It's not fair that I always do all the cleaning. It's not fair that you say this to me when I say this to you. And if the couple or the people that are meeting and talking about it can facilitate that beautiful trine, then okay, we are dealing with this friction, and it causes both people, Libra, Mercury in Libra, it causes both people of the interaction a bit of an emotional stir. Cancer, Mars in Cancer. The way you speak to me make me feel like this, and I can feel my emotional body rattled. I can feel my emotional body reactive. And what is that doing? That gives me an insight into Black Moon Lilith, that primordial urge of like, when I get stirred up, when I feel my emotional body like that, this is how I react, this is how I behave, and then that's how we interact. But remember, we don't want to do the same shit again. We want to change. So this friction, the square is a friction that is coming to confront us in order to allow us to break through. It's like squeezing a zit. You are squeezing the zit in order to bring out the fuss. So that square between Mercury and Mars is going to bring us that friction in order to push us to this place that we could harmonize it all. Casper, bring on Lilith. Bring it on, Lilith. Be careful what you wish for. You know, a person that allow Lilith to kind of like bring on Lilith and I'm guided by Lilith. That's like a classic thing is like, you know, a good wife that says, screw this, I'm bored, I'm going to have an affair. That's Black Moon Lilith. I deserve to have an affair, I'm not getting any attention at home, I'm not loved the way I want to, and that man is flirting with me, and I like the way he treats me, and I like the way he speaks to me. Little does she know that he is a narcissist that is actually playing with her, but she is falling down for that kind of spell and goes into bed with him even though she is committed to someone else. That's Black Moon Lilith, acting upon your shadowy dark urges. Cheat, betrayals, affairs, that's kind of Black Moon Lilith territory. So yeah, those are the things we need to be careful, because you can say, you know what, I'm not being treated the way I want to, I'm not getting sex at home, I'm not being loved at home, I'm gonna look elsewhere. So the conscious walk will be like, wait a second, what is that voice that guides me to go and look elsewhere? What am I looking elsewhere for? What is that frustration about not getting sex from my partner? What is lacking inside of me that is feeling like a lack by not getting sex from my partner? What is that making me feel that I'm actually supposed to recognize? And what is that voice inside of me that tells me to rebel and go that thing recklessly? And it's like, is that really the right spiritual thing for me to do? Is that in my soul integrity? My wounded ego self maybe convinced me so, but what is my soul integrity tells me? That's another way of kind of doing this dynamic. And so yeah, Mercury squares Mars, and then so Mercury squares Mars is coming in between, so Mars trine Saturn, and then Mercury squares Mars as the moon conjunct Venus. So sorry, Mars trine Saturn, then Venus with the moon trine Saturn, then Mercury square Mars, and after the friction of Mercury square Mars comes the trine between Mars and Venus. Oh, I love you, Boogie Boo. I love you too, Shuggy too. Oh, I'm sorry I got upset with you. I don't know what took over me. I just kind of like, it's okay, baby. I fully understand. You know, I also felt like, it's like, I'm sorry too. I didn't really mean to. I love you. I love you, baby. I love you even more. Oh my God, I love you even more. Let's make love. That's kind of how it could unfold, you know. A good loving couple having a silly argument over something silly that made them feel in a silly way, and they acted upon it, and then they realized they acted upon it, and then they talk about it, and then they realize that what it was for them, and they apologize, and they take responsibility about it, and they connect again on a deeper level with more compassion, with more love. And that's kind of how it could be as well. It doesn't have to be couple, lovers, could be friends, could be partners, business partners, could be, you know, a client, could be a person in the street, right? But remember, Libra is the mirror of relationships. Like, our interactions with our relationships are reflecting to us what we need to see inside of us that we can't see in Aries, because Aries sees itself. But Libra, the others show in the Aries things that it can't see about itself if it's not interacting with the others. And that's why we go into relationship, to be able to see another part of ourselves that we can't see when we're alone. Following the Mercury square Mars comes the Venus trine Mars that we spoke about. And at the same time that Venus square Mars, another beautiful aspect is that Mercury is going to... Mercury is moving fast, right? Mercury is moving almost 2 degrees a day. So then by, here it is, by getting there, patience. Here it is, Tuesday the 8th of October. Again, Tuesday the 8th of October is a big day. Yeah, that's the day that Venus is trining Mars. It's a big day in a good way. Next Tuesday, Venus trines Mars exactly. And what else? Mercury here on the 2020 Libra is trining Jupiter. Oh no, that's 21. I need to move a few more hours forward. Sorry about that. 21. There we go. Oh, 21. Okay. So on Tuesday the 8th, as Venus and Mars are in a trine, it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Venus trine Mars exactly 1840, and Mercury 2120 Libra is trining Jupiter 2120 Gemini, while Jupiter is stationing retrograde. Now, all this time, I haven't mentioned it, but in the background it's already happening from this week, from the last few days. Jupiter in Gemini is on a 3 weeks long sextile to Chiron. This is where it gets even more interesting. Chiron presents to us the healing key to our old wounding, as that new moon solar eclipse is doing all that I spoke about with Black Moon, Lilith and Mercury. Following that, we have this beautiful water trine between Mars, Venus, Mars and Saturn in water signs. Emotional healing, harmonizing effect is happening here. At the background of all that, there's the magical triangle of Pluto in Capricorn, sextile Neptune, sextile Uranus that is trining Pluto. Beautiful. On top of that, there is this ongoing sextile, which is supportive development between Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries, where the North Node is, the home of Mars, who is in a trine to Venus, with the Sun in Libra, the home of Venus. This is cool, huh? You've got like a lot of relationship stuff happening here, and a lot of self-healing happening here. By facing shadowy patterns, by facing this, there comes the healing, harmonizing. And so this sextile of Chiron in Aries and Jupiter in Gemini, Jupiter wants to expand and evolve and grow and like learn more and understand more of higher teachings and philosophy and the belief system. Jupiter, it's in Gemini, our local environment, our interactions, our community, our friends, our colleagues, our bartering, our trades, our business, our driving, our car, our transportation, our local environment. Jupiter wants to expand, he wants to grow, he wants to develop, he wants to evolve, to learn more by interacting with people, by talking to people, by looking at the internet, social media, downloading information, learning philosophies, beliefs, esoteric teachings, astrology, UFOs, history, all kind of things like that. Jupiter stationing retrograde in Gemini, so that expansion, our mind will be able to get a bit slow down, and it's stationing retrograde in this suspended trine to sextile to Chiron, which is supportive of our healing. So it's kind of like, by changing the way we do Gemini, by changing the way we think and talk and express and communicate, because we want to develop further and grow further and evolve further, we have this healing, supportive adjustment that are happening in the sense of self. The self is no longer speaking, communicating, thinking from the wounded state because of everything else that is happening over there in the Libra, in the trine, everything that is, you have to connect the layers. So in the background of all these layers of the Libra new moon solar eclipse and the big water trine of Mars, Venus and Saturn, in the background there's this ongoing sextile of 3 weeks between Chiron and Jupiter. So it's all supportive of our healing process and healing developments of our wounded self. By talking and by communicating and by learning and by reading and by listening in our local environment, on the internet, here we are in the love stream, sharing information, sharing insights, talking about the intensity and how epic it is, but we're bringing all these alignments and all these flavors and all these layers in order to allow us to see and understand how it's actually all for healing and all for evolution and all for development. So in the background, we are sitting with these two gurus. Chiron and Jupiter are two gurus, the great teachers. Chiron is your master healer. Jupiter is Master Yoda. And they're both communicating there in a satsang. There's a satsang going on in the background. Beautiful, amazing. So on this day, on next Tuesday, I see it as a very positive day that Venus trine Mars, Mercury trines Jupiter stationing. So this communication in relationships that is more about growth and development, it's beautiful, it's harmonizing, and that supports the Venus trine Mars, and the Venus trine Mars support the Mercury trine Jupiter, and oh my god, delicious, beautiful, awesome, healing, conversation, great for talk therapy. Come to healing sessions, come to sound healing. This is great. Talk to a good friend, journal, you know. So again, remember, this new moon solar eclipse is like a yucky purge, a dark purge, that through that we will see the beauty, we will see the magic of healing unfold. And then the big topic is then from the 8th until the 13th, big things are changing. So these trines are then taking us into the next thing, which is Jupiter station in retrograde, and Jupiter is going retrograde on the 9th. Here it is. Station in retrograde on the 9th at, we're looking at 6 o'clock once the S turns red. And the S is about to turn red any moment now. There we go. Oops. Here. On Wednesday at 6:04 p.m. sound healing meditation. Jupiter is stationed in retrograde in a sextile to Chiron, in a trine to Mercury. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. And then 2 days later, the next big whammy, and all this, by the way, while this is happening, Pluto is already very slow, because Pluto goes direct 2 days later for the final time in our life while it's in Capricorn, and that's a big thing, because Pluto is the reckless agent of change and evolution and deep transformation, and he is freaking done with Capricorn. He is done. He is going like, guys, there's no more time to waste. I am done with my mission here. I have done what I'm done with what I've come here to do. Now I present to you the effect. So Pluto station direct on the 12th of October at, let's see, there we go. We're looking at 11 o'clock Pluto, when the S turns white, and Pluto stations direct. There we go. Saturday the 12th of October at 11:32 a.m. Pluto station direct for the last time in our life in Capricorn. Big whammy. And this is happening while, pay attention, Mercury here on the 27th degree of Libra by that time is now starting, so Mercury is stationed in direct, Pluto is stationed in direct, and the moon is gonna cross Pluto exactly when it's stationed in direct. Look, if I'm gonna take it a few hours back, moon conjunct Pluto, station in direct on Friday late night. So Saturday is a charged up day, Saturday the 12th of October. And so the moon crosses Pluto, and a few hours later, Pluto goes direct, 11:32 a.m., and Pluto goes direct, and the moon will be with Pluto, stationed in direct, in a square to Mercury. So Mercury in Libra, coming to the end of Libra, agreements, negotiations, decisions, conversations in relationships, is in a friction, it's in a challenge with Pluto, powers beyond our control, restriction, authorities, father figure, grandfather, patriarchy, the system. Something here is causing a lot of friction. On a collective level, big screams for justice, for fairness, about abuse of power, abuse of sex. Remember what I told you at the beginning of the love stream of what information is coming out. And by that time, by Saturday the 12th of October, not this Saturday, the next one, the sun is already 19 degrees, closing in on Juno, the sacred goddess of relationship, in opposition to Chiron. So that's gonna be interesting. Mercury square Pluto station in direct, as the sun coming to Juno to oppose Chiron. So here comes the wounded self. It's coming into the light, it's opposing the sun in Libra, and with the friction of Mercury Pluto, this is to be aware of. Venus here in 22 Scorpio is quincunx Chiron as well, so the annoyance of the wound is coming up again here. But in the background, remember, Chiron sextile Jupiter, it's all for healing. And then also what's happening is that There's a lot, you see. It's already 10:15. I have to finish this. But there's a lot. So Pluto station direct on the 12th of October, 11:32. Then Mercury is and Venus is quincunx Chiron as the Sun. Let's take it a day forward, and here is Sunday the 13th of October, and the Sun is coming. Oh, here is the exact square of Mercury to Pluto. It's happening exactly on Monday the 14th of October at around 1 a.m. So the night of Sunday the 13th of October. The exact square of Mercury in the crisis honorific degree of the 29th degree of Libra, where it's like, I have to get justice, I have to get fairness, I have to get harmony, we need to talk about it, because this is how you abuse me, this is what corrupts my power, this is what disempowers me, this is the abuse, this is abusive, this is like arguments screaming for justice through facing the abuse of power. And with the wars going on and around the world, you will see a lot of social media voices, people screaming for justice and da 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 da, because Sun is coming to oppose Chiron. There's a lot of wounding people, there's a lot of wounded people, a lot of victims that are suffering because of relations, not just of people, of countries, of nations. And by that time, Mars here is also squaring Chiron. So Mars is in Cancer, squaring Chiron in Aries. So it's like, here comes the, and by the way, remember, once Mars passes the 17th degree of Cancer, is in first shadow zone. So everything we visit from, let's take it back a few days, everything we visit from Sunday the 6th of October will be revisited in the regards of Mars in Cancer. Okay, so back to the 14, Mercury. So Mercury is moving to Libra on Monday the 14th of October, is moving to Scorpio. And now that we have Mercury in Scorpio and Venus in Scorpio, we are talking deep, looking deep, researching, investigating, revealing secrets hidden within ourselves, within our relationships, within everything. This is kind of real psychic surgery. Mercury and Venus in Scorpio from Tuesday the 15th of October, and but at the same time the Sun is trining Jupiter. So the Sun in Libra is trine Jupiter. So this is harmonizing and beneficial by being open to learn more, to talk with an open mind, to understand more, in order to evolve and to grow and to expand beyond what we think and how we think. It's kind of harmonizing how we can achieve the justice and balance and harmony in relationships, the Sun in Libra, while the Sun is opposing Chiron. So this is interesting. This is very interesting. The 15th of October, because pay attention, Sun oppose Chiron, both square Mars. Wow, 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 wow. But there's the trine to Jupiter. Wow. And and Venus oppose Uranus. Wow, 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 wow. 15th of October is explosive. 15 of October is red flags day. Explosive. There's a lot of victims, there's a lot of fights, there's a lot of arguments, there's a lot of actions. This is where we need to be careful from this new moon solar eclipse keynote of Black Moon Lilith. This is where we need to be careful of our shadowy reactions, of our kind of urges. Mars in Cancer, feeling insecure, feeling afraid, feeling scared, feeling shaken, because something that is happening in relationship with the Sun in Libra is triggering Chiron in Aries, the wounded self, and both of it is Mars is ruling Aries where Chiron is. So Mars is squaring challenge, friction, Chiron in his home, Mars' sense of masculine self is really being triggered, wounded, and that triggers the sense of I want fairness, justice, harmony, balance in my life. Sun. And Venus opposing Taurus. Here is Taurus in the home of Venus. And Venus wants to feel safe and secure and love and prosperity and abundance of good quality of life, but Uranus creates a disruption, shocking, traumatic events. So there's shocks and trauma and maybe facing trauma, remember Mercury and Venus in Scorpio, this is deep psychic surgery. And so we are really kind of going deep into our traumas here. Sexual trauma, money trauma, power trauma, emotional trauma. It's really triggers by an external event that suddenly happened out of nowhere. Something just happens and it just really triggers our trauma. It triggers our deep fears. It triggers our deep pain. Scorpio, Taurus, relationships. Aries, Libra, Sun, Chiron, relationships. Scoring Mars, the masculine. Massive, epic. 14, 15. So it's almost like from now until then we have all this sweetness, these trines, and here comes that. And when is that happening? The moon is already on. The moon is sensitive in Pisces together with Saturn. And this is rising to the full moon. Dio mio, what a full moon. Very emotional full moon. I've got shivers in my spine as I say that. Moving a day forward, the moon is in Pisces with Neptune, while the sun still square Mars. They both still square Chiron. Venus is coming to the crisis degrees of the end of Scorpio. And then here comes a day after. Oh, but the good thing at least that, here comes Venus trine Neptune. There's a bit of medicine. There's a bit of healing. There's a bit of psychic understanding. Spiritual messages coming through. Neptune, spirit, delivers some kind of healing that is transcendental, transformative, on a deep level of Scorpio at the end of Venus at the end of Scorpio. Out of this friction, out of this challenge, out of this pain, out of this trauma, out of this kind of facing this kind of deep aspects of wounded self, here comes the beautiful healing of Neptune trine Venus. Thursday the 17th of October, which brings us to the full moon in Aries, which I will come talk to you about it next time when I come to you, but just to give you a hint of how intense it's going to be. Following that square of Mars to Sun opposed Chiron, Venus opposed Uranus, here is the full moon in Aries, Thursday the 17th of October. The moon is on 24° Aries conjunct Eris, the goddess of discord, of strife. The people march in the streets, the protest. The feminine, Eris, the rebellious feminine, is going and saying no more. And it's in Eris, it's impulsive, it's fiery, and it's conjunct Chiron. It's based on the wounds, and it's opposing Sun and Juno, the goddess of sacred relationships. And there is a big grand square here going on here. Sun and Juno, square Mars, square Moon Aries Chiron, square Pluto. While Venus is on the 29 extreme end degree of Scorpio, opposing Uranus still. I'm giving you a flavor of how intense and emotionally intense full moon in Aries is coming 2 weeks from now. And so these seeds we are planting now on this new moon solar eclipse with Black Moon Lilith and Mercury, we are going to recognize and identify and say no more of this, no more of that. We need to be careful of all these dark things that we're not gonna step on. We're not gonna fall down the trap of the subconscious shadow aspect of ourselves. We're not gonna repeat the old shadowy patterns. Following this straight away, beautiful water trine, Venus, Mars, Saturn, beautiful, harmonious, supportive development, amazing, yummy, delicious. Mercury trine Jupiter, amazing development, understanding, communication, beautiful, harmonious. Sun trine Jupiter, beautiful, but then comes a wave of intense emotions 2 weeks from now, building up to the full moon, where suddenly things happen and there is a lot of wounding coming up to the surface, a lot of friction, a lot of deep feelings, and it's in full moon in Aries and saying no more. No more. So we are entering a very intense October, family. And use this October to be like a diamond. A diamond is created under immense pressure in the heart of the earth. Between tectonic layers, the earth is compressing it and pressing it over many, many, many years. Immense pressure creates the diamond. So this is very intense month ahead of us. Know it. Be compassionate to yourself. Be loving to yourself. Do not allow yourself to be tempted to fall down the dark, shadowy aspect of yourself. Do not fall into victimhood. Do not fall into disempowerment, because if you will go down very deep, very low, very hard, very fast. This is the time for you to stand up and say, I am not going down. I am not going down. I'm gonna face it all. It's gonna, even if it's gonna be freaking intense, and you will see the world. Big things are about to happen, family. I've been preparing people for this since 2017. This is it. And those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. This is it. Serious shit is about to unfold. And we just have to stick to this empowered love being, to maintain the same the same thing I told you through all the poo and the juice, through all 2020 until now. We can't control what happens outside of us. We can only control what's happening inside of us. Be conscious of it, acknowledge it, recognize it, reflect, contemplate, change, navigate, pivot, alter the patterns in your fractal. Do the small little changes in your inner fractal and allow the fractal to ripple differently outwards. But most importantly, just hold space of love for yourself, for the world. Do not fall into the darkness. Just hold the light and hold the love and be strong. Just really be strong. You have to really step now into your spiritual strength, into your spiritual warrior. This is a self-mastery. This is the true mastery. It's like Pluto at the end of Capricorn is like, show me what you got, baby. Show me you deserve your evolution. Show me you deserve on a soul level to evolve beyond past karmic lifetimes. Show me you have mastered it. Show me. This is the final exams. Master degree. So stand up, be strong, be brave, and do your best to be love. Thank you all very much for being here with me. Love and gratitude to you all. You're welcome, Dana. Shana Tova, Dana. And Shana Tova to everyone. And I wish and pray and bless us, everyone we love, and the entire world in peace, in harmony. Knowing that sometimes in order to get to peace and harmony, we have to face some dark times. So may all wars lead to peace. May all arguments lead to understanding. May all disagreement lead into harmony. Love and gratitude to you, Patreon community. Thank you so much. Sound healing meditation, Wednesday, new moon solar eclipse. Next Wednesday, come and harvest this beautiful grand water trine. Oh my God, amazing. Come and join me next Wednesday, Jupiter station retrograde with a big water trine, very healing. And Sunday as well, Sunday 5 p.m. Come and see me as well for the sound healing meditation. If you need healing session, it's a great time to do a healing walk. So come and see me if you need me. It'll be more than my pleasure to help you. Everything is in 20% discount. You can find all the information on soundhealingdelight.com, which is underneath me here. And if you want to join our community, patreon.com/healingdelight. Sending you all love wherever you are. Be strong, be positive, be loving, and we will get through it all. And hold a space of love for a world that is going through chaos. I'm gonna bring now the ambient dub techno to finish the session with, and thank you to the 432 Reiki music for spiritual healing. And I'm sending you love, family, and I love you, and I will see you for the full moon in Aries, of course. So be strong, be brave, do the walk, do the shadow walk, do the deep walk, change your ways, choose to behave differently in a way that is more healing for you. Welcome, Jules. Love you, family. As always, peace, love, joy, happiness. Bye.